I know I sure do. No matter what's going on in my life, if I hear an upbeat tune and I'm in an environment where I can bust a move, which is pretty much anywhere, where could you be that you can't dance? I can't even think of anywhere. I dance everywhere. I don't care. I mean, it might not be fancy. Chair dancing counts, so I dance in my car when I'm driving. I've been known to dance in stores from time to time. Again, nothing exciting or exotic, just busting a move. Now, I do generally look to make sure nobody's in the aisle with me. Or if they are in the aisle, they're also dancing, right? Or singing along or something. But there has been the odd time where I thought I was alone, and apparently I wasn't, because then somebody walked into the lane, and there I am, busting a little move. But that's okay, right? That's good. It just is the thing that makes my heart hum sometimes, makes us feel good, and that's what's important, right? Is doing what makes you feel good, which brings me to my favorite part of the show, which is always the good news. Oh my gosh, so interesting. Today, I had way too many articles to pick from, which is a problem I love to have, because there's so many great things going on in the world. You know, we're really taking pollution head on. We are taking our energy crisis head on. We are in exciting times. This is good. This is a great thing. So, this is cool. Costa Rica. How much do you know about Costa Rica? Well, it's a beautiful place, and I think we should all go visit there, right? I think that's a great place that we should go and visit sometime. And this is another reason why we should. During his inauguration speech last week, the new president of Costa Rica announced an ambitious plan to make the country a leader in the fight against climate change. As thousands of constituents were gathered in San Jose for 38-year-old Carlos Alvarado's presidential induction ceremony, he announced his intentions to fully ban the use of fossil fuels and make Costa Rica the first country in the world to achieve decarbonization. Wow, that is absolutely awesome. Oh, thanks, Chuck. Hopefully that's better. Decarbonization is the great task of our generation, and Costa Rica must be one of the first countries in the world to accomplish it, if not the first, said the president. He added, "We have the titanic and beautiful task of abolishing the use of fossil fuels in our economy to make way for the use of clean and renewable energies." Alvarado, who used to work as a journalist, seemed to emphasize his intentions by traveling to the inauguration aboard a hydrogen-fueled bus, according to The Independent. The president plans on implementing the country's fossil fuel ban in 2021, which would also symbolically mark Costa Rica's 200th year of independence. When we reach 200 years of independent life, we will take Costa Rica forward and celebrate that we've removed gasoline and diesel from our transportation, Alvarado promised. While the ban may seem unrealistic, Costa Rica has already been hailed for generating 99% of their energy needs through renewable energy sources, such as hydroelectricity, wind, solar, and geothermal energy. Experts say that one of the last major steps for the country's decarbonization is eliminating fossil fuels from public transportation, which make up a large portion of Costa Rica's carbon emissions. That is absolutely fantastic. You know, and you're seeing all these smaller countries go in leaps and bounds in the right direction, which is absolutely cool. And here's another great story. With South Australian homes suffering from frequent and expensive power outages, could you imagine? We are so blessed here in North America. When was the last time you had a power outage that wasn't explainable? That wasn't a storm, a tree down, a car accident? These people have them all the time. You know, we just have so much to be grateful for here. Anyways, let's back up. With South Australian homes suffering from frequent and expensive power outages, the government was in search of a more cost-effective and environmentally friendly backup system for their electrical grid. Then, in July 2017, Elon Musk, the chief executive of alternative energy company Tesla, offered to build the world's biggest lithium-ion battery as a backup energy source for South Australia, one of the country's most wind power dependent states. Not only, but Musk wagered that if the battery wasn't switched on within 100 days of signing the contract, he would gift the battery to the state free of charge. Wowzers, that's pretty cool. According to new data that was presented at the Australian Energy Week conference in Melbourne on Thursday and reported by Renfrew Economy, the 129 megawatt battery has already resulted in stunning success. For starters, the battery has resulted in a 90% drop in maintenance costs, in addition to being a cheaper replacement to the fossil fuel dependent system that was previously used by the energy market operator. The battery creates zero carbon emissions. It is also capable of responding to outages in a matter of seconds, which could not be said for the previous backups. Within the first 4 months of being switched on, the battery has already saved consumers an estimated $26 million in maintenance costs to the grid, making South Australia the only region that has enjoyed a decline in the cost of frequency-controlled ancillary services in recent months. In the first 4 months of operations of the Hornsdale Power Reserve, the frequency ancillary services prices went down by 90%. So that's 9 to 0%, says McKinsey and co-partner Godart Van Gent. And the 100 megawatt battery has achieved over 55% of the SCAS revenues in South Australia. So it's 2% of the capacity of South Australia, achieving 55% of the revenues in South Australia. Wow. While others are just talking, we are delivering our energy plan, making South Australia more self-sufficient and providing backup power and more affordable energy for South Australians this summer, State Premier Jay Weatherhill said in a statement. Isn't that something? You know, so I have to ask, and this is a really, legit question. How are all these countries feeling about us? You know, feeling about Canada and the States, where, you notice I don't read a lot of stories from them. Maybe that's not big news. Maybe it's happening. Maybe it's not happening. Maybe it's not happening. Maybe it's not happening. But these smaller countries are definitely leaders. Now, I realize it's maybe easier for them to do. They have less population, yada, 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 whatever. But it's nice to see that, they're being leaders in these industries. They're stepping up to the plate. They're making a difference. They're helping their own people. What a novel idea, helping your own people. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. We should try that. We should do that a little bit more. What a wonderful thing it would be to not have a hydro bill, right? But again, we've talked about this before. You're going to have to take that power yourself, friends. I have a guy that lives beside me, and I noticed over the winter, he put solar panels on his roof. So we can't see the back of his house from the back of, I don't know, whatever. It's hard to explain. But when I pull into a parking lot on Mitten Street, I can see the back of our houses absolutely perfectly. And I happened to notice that he had 12 solar panels on one part of his house. Well, then the other day, I'm in a different room in my house, and I notice another part of his roof has another 12 solar panels. So I think my neighbor beside me, it's realistic for me to believe that he has approximately 36 solar panels, I believe, on his house. So we are the kind of neighbors that meet over the fence. So I'm waiting to meet him over the fence sometime over summer, and I'm going to pick his brain and find out how that's working out. I notice he has a completely separate meter on his home. So he's got his hydro meter, then right beside it he's got his solar meter, I assume. So I'm really excited to see how that's working out, and if he has a bill, if he's making money. This is the data that we need, right? So that we can move forward with this. I mean, solar, that's where it's at, man. I am tired of paying that hydro bill, and I'm sure you are too. So it's just a way for the government to push us, right? Same as, if you got an electric vehicle, you wouldn't have to get an e-test, yada, yada, yada. they're slowly moving us into a different direction. So before we're all done, I do have one last story I'd like to share with you. And I thought this was a really cool story. This is about Lego. My house is full of Lego, even though I don't have any little children that live there. My sons were big into Lego. And so now that I have my one grandson, Xavier, he and Robert, my son, they do everything Lego. They have Lego. Oh, they're always building Lego together. I absolutely love it. And the only downfall to Lego is if you're not wearing your slippers, it really hurts on your feet. But this is a very positive thing about Lego I think is really cool. After expending almost $1 billion in investments, Lego has finally achieved its target of balancing 100% of the energy used by all of its factories, offices, and stores worldwide with clean, renewable energy 3 years earlier than anticipated. I want to physically clap for these people. Like, this is so awesome. Their most recent investment was buying a 25% stage in the Burbank Extension wind farm, which helped them reach the goal that they set out in 2012, funding over 160 megawatts of sustainable energy development worldwide. The Liverpool, UK-based wind farm, which only just opened today, can reportedly power over 230,000 British homes. 230,000 British homes. That is like a lot. That I'm just trying to like visualize 230,000 homes. Oh my gosh. To celebrate, Lego will today be attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the largest Lego windmill ever built. Standing at 650 feet and built out of 146,000 Lego blocks, the creation is designed to raise awareness about the importance of renewable energy amongst children. Absolutely fantastic. We work to leave a positive impact on the planet, and I'm truly excited about the inauguration of the Burbank Extension wind farm. This development means we now have reached the 100% renewable energy milestone 3 years ahead of target. Together with our partners, we intend to continue investing in renewable energy to help create a better future for the builders of tomorrow, says Bali Pada, CEO of the Lego Group. That is so absolutely exciting. It really is. And getting kids involved so they know, the value of this in the